Hello and welcome back once again to another guide that doesn't really work every time, but when it works, it really works. So you're welcome. In this episode of Solo Rank Tips, we will talk about the role of the solo laner, or sometimes called the off laner. It's a specific role that you might want to take on in case you are fond of torturing yourself by doing rank solo. It specializes in ignoring the rest of your teammates early game and focuses on yourself. Your goal early game is to make sure that half of the map is handled by only you. But whichever side you choose, you go solo, while you let the other 4 members of your team go around the map and do whatever they want. And hopefully they don't feed. So let's go through a few items that you need to focus on to better perform in this lonely solo role. Pushing. One of the main tasks is pushing the lane that you are given, or the lane that you chose. This comes with clearing the minion waves in your lane and aiming to take down that enemy tower that's right in front of you, giving you and your entire team extra gold for more items when you succeed. But that's not all. With you being a consistent threat in taking down the entire side lane towers all by yourself, the enemy would have to send someone to defend that lane against you, or even 2 people if you choose the right hero and you can win any 1v1. This gives your allies on the other side of the map an advantage, since they would have to deal with less enemies and have numbers advantage if they decide to team fight, defending side and mid. Now I know I said you only have to worry about yourself as a solo laner, but that doesn't mean you'll be ignoring whatever is happening on the other parts of the map. Through the entire game, there will be times that your mid laner will leave their lane and head to the other side or the far side of the map in an attempt to get a kill or maybe secure objectives like the crab or taking down towers. You have to be aware of your mid laner allies' movement so that if you need to, you can leave your lane and defend mid as a substitute. Not only you prevent the most important lane tower from going down, you also gain extra gold and XP since you get minions from your side lane and minions from the mid lane. Just don't do this when your mid laner is present, or else you'll slow down your XP, their XP, everyone gets less gold, and you're gonna look like a total ass. Also, make sure you've cleaned up your own lane before defending other lanes. You can even push mid lane if you want, if you're doing a really good job in keeping your side lane clean. Stealing jungle and assisting in ganks. Now, since we're talking about the mid laner going to side lanes to secure objectives and get hero kills, there is definitely a time when they'll be on your side of the map, or your mid laner is going to be visiting your home, your half of the map. This is the only time you are required to help them with whatever they're doing there to show how hospitable you are. If they're trying to gank in your side of the map, help them. Provide additional damage, CC, stun, slows, whatever. Stealing jungles or maybe trying to get crab, leave your lane and go wherever they are. Make sure they accomplish it. You alone too are expected to attempt and steal enemy jungle monsters whenever you can. Just be very careful and make sure you have an escape skill in your hero built in, or you have escape spells available. Now that we're done talking about the solo laner goals, let's talk about picking the right hero for a solo side lane. Now, I'm not gonna tell you which specific hero to use since everyone likes different heroes and the meta changes every time, so there's no permanent strong solo or laner heroes. But here are some things your hero should have if you decide to YOLO in the solo lane. Your hero should have fast minion wave clear. Whether it's basic attacks or with skills, a hero for solo lane needs to have above average damage output to quickly kill off minion waves. This is so that enemies can't push even if they have greater numbers, because no minions means can't touch this tower. And since you wipe out enemy minions quickly, this makes it easy for you to push towers as well, or in return, if the enemy defender leaves. You clear the enemy minions fast and you allow your own minions to get to the enemy towers faster so they can start smacking it. Deleting minion waves fast also gives you a lot of spare time to take down some jungle monsters, or going mid to clear the waves or defend or push while you're waiting for the next wave in your side lane. Your hero should have an escape skill or some sort of gank prevention spell. As a lonely solo laner, enemies will often group up to kick your ass since you're all alone and you're vulnerable. That is why a hero with an escape skill is a must, like having a built-in dash or a blink in your skills. You just can't be without one. Now, most of the time, this isn't even enough when going against like a group of 3 enemies. They may have stuns, they may have slowdown effects, and they'll definitely catch up on you after you used your blink skill or when it's on cooldown. So getting the right spell is also advisable to help you out in dire situations like Sprint, Purify, or Flicker. Your hero should have Sustain. Sustain is the form of keeping yourself healthy and your HP high for long periods of time. A solo laning hero needs good sustain in order to minimize the amount of times you'll need to recall back in base. Heroes with built-in spell vamp or lifesteal are the ones I'm talking about. If your hero doesn't have this but has all the other traits that we talked about earlier, then that's cool. Just get spell vamp or lifesteal via items like Bloodlust Axe, Concentrated Energy, Endless Battle. The more that you can easily regain any HP that you lose in the lane, the less time you have to go back to base. And that means more time to push, more time to get golden XP, and the more you'll annoy your enemies who have to defend against you in that side lane. Your hero should have a strong 1 versus 1 potential. If your hero can't 1v1 and you have to ask your teammates for help against one enemy hero in your lane, then you better question yourself why you're even soloing a lane with this hero that you picked. A lot of heroes can solo a lane, but when it comes to being an effective solo hero, you need to make sure that you can fight or even kill other lone enemy heroes easily. Now, we're not gonna go deeper into who the best 1v1 heroes are, but if you've noticed, heroes that can put out consistent high damage, heroes that have high mobility, has some sort of slowing skill or stun built in their skill, has a built-in spell vamp or lifesteal, are the heroes that can usually win in a 1v1 fight. If I had to make a tier list of heroes that are good in solo laning, I'll put fighters at the top since they got all the things a solo hero should have. Assassins, on the other hand, in an even match, if they can't burst their enemy, they might lose to fighters. Marksmen, since goes here since early game they just suck, but late game, oh yeah, super mobile with high damage, and if they farmed really fast, they can delete anyone 1v1. And then mages. Sometimes, if the mage hero has all the factors we mentioned, then sure, why not? Just, yeah, put them there. And lastly, here are some final tips about rotation. There's really minimal rotation happening for you since you're in charge of only your side lane, except from the sometimes needing to push or defend mid. So just keep clearing the minions coming in your lane. Kill the jungle monsters that are in your solo zone, like this part of the map. Any jungle monster there, you can get it. Defend mid if mid lane or ally is visiting the far side of the map. And keep taking down towers one by one in your side of the map as much as you can. About map awareness, always keep checking your minimap, count the enemies on this map, and ask yourself, are there more enemies on the far side or the opposite side of where you are? If yes, then keep pushing your lane, get the objectives in your territory. Retreat if you only see a few enemies on the other side of the map, because they're probably on their way to kick your ass. About when to join team fights. You can join team fights whenever you can, but only if it's happening on your side of the map or your territory, like I mentioned. Except if you're Aldous, of course, since you can turn into a rocket ship and be immediately on the other side of the map. But then again, I still don't suggest it. You're still leaving your lane and risk losing one or two of your side lane towers. So it's better to make sure you have the items first, so that even if you lose a tower or two, you can make sure you get enemies killed whenever you join team fights and you leave your lane. Also, it is best to take down enemy towers first in your lane before joining team fights, so that you can let your minions push for you while you go Rambo and join the fray and securing all the kills in a 5v5. And that is all I can really say about solo laning or how to off-lane play as an off-laner. Now take note that this isn't based on my experience alone. I play in the Philippines server, so this might be not applicable to other locations, other regions, I'm not sure. But the knowledge I put in this video is a combination of seeing how really good solo laners play, teaming up and going against off-lane mains, and from the sometimes playing as a solo laner myself. So there's definitely more we can all improve on, and I hope that this video gets you one step ahead at least into the right direction if you want to play as a solo laner whenever you go rank solo. So again, my name is Shinmen Tagizo. Feel free to comment whatever you want to add about how to improve in like solo laning or playing the off-lane role. And if you have comments or suggestions, I'd like to hear them out too. And thank you so much for watching this video. Please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!
You have slain an enemy! Launch attack!
Seryoso, nawalan ng net? Wow!